What does it mean to be a leader? What does leadership mean to you? What does leadership mean in bad leadership? Like, have you had the bosses that like to boss you around and treat you like crap? Have you had the bosses that like to put everything on your shoulders so they don't have to? Or maybe you do love your bosses. Maybe you do see what true leadership is. In this particular part of the book, Rook is learning how to be a leader. She is learning how to not only lead by example, not only lead by bucking against those that are afraid to be seen, which in reality kind of mirrors herself because she has to be seen now. The biggest part of showing up as a leader is being seen. Not holding, well, you do have to hold yourself to a higher standard, but not beating yourself up if you stumble. Now is the time in this particular instance on earth where we're at, this time period that we're at. There's a new awakening. There's new money paradigms. There's a lot of new, and it's trying to replace the old because the old is dying off. It's so smack dab in our face that no one's really, more and more people are waking up. They're not pulling the wool over our eyes anymore. So, right now is the time that we are awakening, that we are standing up in our power, learning to love ourselves and give to ourselves first, to set that example, to be okay and not think that if we give too much to ourselves, that we're going to become these monstrous leaders, that we're going to set bad examples, but instead have self-compassion with yourself and know that you're still learning, you're still growing. And the fact that you are aware of this, you're already leaps ahead of the others, of the quote unquote bad leaders. So, in this story, basically, like I said, Rook is now at a point to where she is learning to not only buck against the old style that don't want to be seen, while also encouraging the new prisoners that have arrived around the time that she did, and any other new prisoners that might show up. They want to leave. They want to rebel. So she has to calmly teach them that the way that you rebel isn't by oppressing your oppressors. The way that you rebel is by finding your own path, by finding a way to navigate through the old, which is the unseen, the not wanting to be seen, that old version of you, the new that wants to rebel instantly, but you have to calm them down and unite it. It's like a balance. It's like the ones that are ready to get out of there, and then the ones that don't want to get out. They've given up hope. So you're somewhere in the middle trying to balance and bring everything together. You're trying to raise up the other ones and slow down the other ones. So together you're trying to make your momentum count. You're trying to, in the moment, get everybody on the same page. So that's what it means to be a leader today. You've got the awakened ones that are awake and they're waiting to show up because they're afraid. So you have to set an example for them. You've got the new ones that are awakening and they're not afraid to be seen, but they have all this energy and they're ready and rearing to go, but they don't have the direction. So you have to balance the two. And then you have all these things that are happening on the outside. Guess what? It's mirroring what's happening on the inside. It's mirroring all your inner children versions of you. It's mirroring the future version of you, the want version of you. It's mirroring all the lessons and things that have held you down in the past that at the time they kept you safe and now they're just really slowing you down. You know, it's like when you were starting to take off, you had the things, the bags on the hot air balloon that were keeping you from going too high because going too high was dangerous. But now you're heading towards the mountain, you're raising up. You've got to let go of some of those bags. You got to let go of some of that baggage. So you're at a point in time where you're learning to navigate. And this is a great place to be. This is a great time to be. It's exciting, it's scary. But what is scary? It's fear of the unknown. What's in the unknown? The possibilities. And how can you lead others when you can't lead yourself? So, in this, Rook has to look inside of herself. She has to navigate and dig deep and really look through her lessons. She has to look at where she's at, what can she work on? Not because she's broken, but because she wants better. She has to become the person that she has to become the person that has the things that she wants. She has to become the person that is going in the direction that she wants. So she has to look inside and see what no longer suits her, redefine and change angles of vision, change your perception of the things that hinder you instead of help you. So that's kind of like where you're at right now, possibly. If you're watching this video, maybe you're watching the video because you're a fan of the book and the book's already came out. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you for being here. It is December 30th, 2025. I'm approximately on chapter 17 at the moment. 30 chapters is what I'm looking for. And I'm just writing the backbone, about 1,500 words per chapter. I'm trying to write the spine, or as I've thought of it, I'm basically drawing in pencil right now because I can go back and erase. So then the next step is to draw in pen and add color. And somewhere in there, as I expand the pages, the chapters, I'm saying, the page count, as I expand that to fit the chapters and fill the book more, I'm adding all these things, and then I might change some things before I ink it, before I pin it. I'm looking and seeing where can I add more. My goal is not to add a bunch of fluff. I'm not looking for. I've got the bone. I'm working on the meat. I'm sorry, I got the bone right now. When I go back through it on the next take, I'm going to put the meat on and the skin, and I don't want to add. There's some fat in there, obviously. That's just sounding kind of gross. I apologize. I was going to say, like the fluff, the fur. I don't want to add too much of it. So I'm trying to navigate all that. But at the point right now, because I am Virgo, I tend to be a perfectionist. I know that I'll spend the entire time making 5 amazing chapters and then be worn out, burnout. So if I can write the book, all 30 chapters, and then go back through and revisit them and expand them and add upon them and color them in and make them more colorful, and then maybe do a couple more takes after that. So this is where I'm at. I've been working on the book for a few months. This month of December has been crazy. I've been working on my intuitive writing. I've been doing morning pages and putting that in Substack. I actually have it coming out Monday and Thursdays, but I write every day. And then starting January, I'll probably drop it down to 5 days a week. But I'm writing intuitively in the morning first thing so I can help expand my writing capabilities, so I can get better at writing, so I can write this story. So it's slowed down a little bit. And I'm a little off topic right now, but essentially I'm working on being a better writer. I'm getting this book put together. So by the time that you're reading this, by the time that you're watching this, you could be reading the book. And that is amazing. And I appreciate you. Thank you. If you're excited for the book, I'm excited too. So anywho, my brain's actually already kicking in. What is book 2? And I'm trying not to get distracted from that, but I'm trying to take and I'm planting things in this book for book 2. So anywho, as I'm writing the book, that's what these particular videos are about, because I thought it'd be cool to share my journey with you so you can kind of see how it goes. Little tidbits about, because as I write the book, there's things in the book that I change. Like as I'm writing, my character grows, I end up growing as well. Some of this stuff is mirroring things that I've gone through, and then some of it is actually not mirroring, but it's the conceptualizing as I'm getting this information, I'm writing it and I'm processing it and I'm reflecting as I'm writing. And usually there's a lot of reflection. That's probably why it's taking me a little longer, because I'm writing and then I'm reflecting and I'm seeing where the story is going. I'm really feeling it. This story is taking on a life of its own and it's just coming through me. I'm not writing it, it's coming through me as I write it. So with that, I'm growing too. So that's what these videos are about, and just kind of peeling back and just sharing the experience. This is the first book I've ever wrote. I've not done a lot of writing. I've done a lot of content consumption. I love movies. I love TV shows. I've not read as much as I used to when I was younger, but I just love storytelling and I love stories. And so that's why I'm writing this book, because it was a challenge in the book. And I've been drawn to write. I've felt like writing. I felt like there's so much in me that just wants to come out, and henceforth the writing and the videos and the YouTube. So I'm just trying to get out there and help people as best I can, be of service to others and be of service to myself as well. Because as you serve others, you learn to grow. So before I get off topic even more, back to the thing of becoming a leader. You know, I never wanted to be a leader originally because it's not that I was afraid of the challenge, it's that I preferred in the background keeping things running smooth for the leader. Because I figured, hey, if I make everybody else's job easier, they'll make my job easier. Not always the case, definitely not necessarily coming back the way I thought it would. But now I'm learning that to serve others is not to give the shirt off of my back. It's not to serve others at my own detriment. It's to serve others, to serve myself through serving myself, show others how to serve, and serve others in the process as well. It's about serving from a place of fulfillment. It's about teaching others to take care of themselves first. If I walk around and I'm continually giving everything I have, every dollar I have, every cent that I have, every scrap of food that I have, every bit of clothing that I have so that others can have, there's always going to be others that want to have through what you have. So instead, give to yourself first and show others how to take care of themselves. I used to think, teach a man teach a man to fish and he'll be fed for a lifetime, as opposed to just fishing for him and never keeping any fish for yourself or giving away the best fish. So give to yourself first, show others, and through that you have service. So in that same way, showing up as a leader, show others, you don't want to just lead somebody so that you have a bunch of mindless followers. You want to lead others, teach others, train others so they along the way can become their own leaders, leaders of their own lives, leaders of their own following. And it's not about being followed. If you were a shepherd to guide sheep, you wouldn't be doing it because you want to have as many sheep as possible. No, which actually that might not be a good example because you're not going to teach a sheep to lead another flock. But anyways, I guess in the same way, well, no. So basically, you want to lead others, teach them how to lead themselves. And kind of that's the leaders that are coming up now. It's leaders who are not interested in power, but they have to learn how to take power for themselves so they can lead by example. They have to learn to love themselves. And the same way that they would show their followers, I hate saying the word followers. I kind of think of in the military like a leader and his men. And I don't mean to be sexist, but I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be sexist. But a leader and his men, they want the best for their men. Whether they're male or female is irrelevant, because in all reality, when it comes down to it, in my opinion, in my life, and I apologize if this upsets you, but for me, it's not about male or female. It is about the masculine and the feminine. It is about balancing our insides, because yes, while on the outside, physically, we are different, whether it be male, female, race, religion, height, whatever, maybe not religion. Anyways, no matter what we do in life, our physical bodies are completely different than everyone else's. Our appearance is completely different. So I'm more from the heart. And in the heart space, you have your masculine and your feminine. They both play parts. The masculine as a leader will lead and show others and demand respect out of love, while the feminine side will work with them, will also show them the kinder side of leadership, as in showing others how to. The male will show them what to do by example, and the female side will show how to, and it will nurture. So you have to have both. You have to balance both, irregardless of your gender. So that's what I meant by it doesn't matter to me gender. Obviously things in life matter, and we have our hidden things that bother us, and we don't even realize. It's all in how we were raised. But I'd like to think that those things, if they are programs in us for thinking, men can do this better, women can do this better, I would like to think that there's no hatred behind there. There's no judgment behind there. There's just old programs. And thank goodness we have them, because as we see them, we can heal them. We had to have those programs for a reason. If you went down a deep, dark street late at night, you had to know there was danger in there. But here's the truth of the matter. Darkness is not danger. Nighttime is not danger. Yes, it can be more dangerous, but those things are not danger in and of themselves. Those are things that keep us in fear. And I'm not saying go strolling down a deep, dark alley in the middle of the night. I'm just saying symbolically, those things carry into our life. Numbers like the number 13, the number 666. Those things we're taught to fear. And I'm not saying they're good or bad. They're like anything else. It's not the good or the bad. It's the perception and the application. Those are what make things good or bad. And you have control over both of those. And some of it might be programming, and some of you have to unlearn. So as you become a leader, the reason I say all these things, which I just had a brief thought of, man, I'm going, but the reality is all that is encompassing in becoming a leader, because that's your shit. You have to get your shit together. Pardon my French, but you have to get it together. You have to get these things together, not because you're broken or because you need to be better, but because you are a leader. If you're watching this video, you are a leader. You are ushering in the new age, the new golden age, quote unquote. So in doing so, you are a leader, and you must tackle these things within yourself. For if you can deal with them within yourself, then you can increase, I don't want to say happiness, but you can increase the positivity in your life. You can increase the direction where you're going. And then in doing so, you can give that to others. You can give them the gift of direction. You can show them love. But remember, it's to you, through you. You are a conduit of love. You are a conduit of abundance. You are a conduit of possibilities. You are a leader, and you will show the way. You are a light to your path, to their path. And the most important thing is, if you're here, then you're like me. These are things you're learning for yourself to project, because you're already projecting onto others. You're already mirroring from inside to the outside. So why not mirror the things that are going to help you progress in your life, the things that are going to bring you the life that you want, the possibilities that you want, the opportunities that you want. And in doing so, mirroring all of this to the outside, you're going to take people with you. You're going to raise other people. Some people you can't take with you. Some people, they're not ready. Maybe they'll come back, maybe in the next lifetime. We don't know why they're here. We don't know what they chose. We don't know what their lessons are. And we can't get entangled in that. We have to learn us first, be a conduit to us, through us. And that is how we become new leaders and usher in the new age and raise the vibration of the earth. Help others awaken. You don't know how far this goes out. The same concept of the paying it forward. You're essentially doing that with yourself. You're paying it forward through love and through light. You are touching so many lives. You're going to touch so many lives. You already influence so many lives. And the more that you grow, the more you mirror, the more you project in a positive manner, the more that others are led. So, in conclusion, as you become a leader, as you take on that mantle, heavy is the head that wears the crown. But what if the crown is a crown of light? How much does that weigh? Take care of yourself, take care of others. And speaking of taking care of yourself, I think the message is complete. We're nearing almost 20 minutes, which is one of my longer videos more recently. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're excited for the book. If you already read the book, or if the book is available, I hope you enjoy it. Love you guys. I will talk to you in the next message. If you'd like to leave anything below, comments about the book, about the message, about anything in general, take advantage if my community is small right now, because at the moment it is small. So when people message, I do my best to interact. I don't interact with negativity, but I do my best to interact. So if you'd like to have a conversation, in the messages below, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. and take advantage of the community while it's small. And let's have a conversation. Thanks, guys.